In the 1972 war, when we attacked Idi Amin from Tanzania, I captured a lorry with my group, full of arms and some prisoners. And I handed them to my allies, the UPC who were with us, the soldiers of Museveni Obote. This was September. It was Orhira, burnt countryside. At Kaberevere, this is exactly mile 10 from Barara. I remember the thing so well. So, when I went to the road to pick up the weapons, I had my allies shooting these people. I think there were like 5 of the soldiers who had captured, others had run away. Shooting them in the Hira, in the burnt countryside. I was so annoyed. We almost started a war there between us and the UPCs. Why did you shoot these people? They surrendered. And they gave us the arms. They surrendered all the arms which Amin had given them. They gave up. They didn't use them to shoot us. They just ran away, and others surrendered. We got the victory. We got the arms. Why are you killing them? These are allies. Why do you kill them? Just bankruptcy. We almost started a war between us there. Later on, I will explain more about that killing. No killing of prisoners, no assassinations. We don't believe in assassinations of opponents, that somebody is against me, so I kill him. Why do I kill him? By killing him, it means that his argument is so powerful that I have no answer to it. And therefore, the only way is to kill him. But the NRM is absolutely sure. Whatever we do, we are sure it is correct. In all these almost 60 years, when we were part of the student movement, in the 1960s, when we were fighting the regime of Amin, when we were fighting UPC, all these years after that, we are absolutely sure that we are right, if we are on the right position. If not, we change our position. We say, no, we didn't understand this, now we understand it better. So why would I fear anybody to kill him so that I silence him? Why? And when I was at Kororo, I explained that by killing your opponents, first of all, you create permanent enmity between you and the people who support him, or his family, or his relatives. How will you reconcile with them? To have killed somebody illegally. But secondly, you make those people heroes. Because people will say, if so-and-so had not died, he would have done this or that or that or that. Even when maybe he would have done nothing. All the people have been opposing us. We just fight them politically. And we defeat them. All these years, we have been defeating all these opposition groups politically. You can mention one. Even Idi Amin, we never wanted to kill Idi Amin or Obote. At one time, I saved Oito Joke from being killed by our people here at Nairo Mansions. So, assassinations are a bankrupt method used by people who are not sure of their political positions in terms of logic and truthfulness. We always rely on the courts to punish the wrongdoers. Even in the bush, we had to set up both the court-martial and also the civilian courts, which at one time were being headed by Mrs. Mukwaya. Mrs. Mukwaya was our Chief Justice in the bush. So therefore, for us, killing is only in battle or by order of court, no other. Every policeman who is listening to me, every soldier who is listening to me, and the people of Uganda should know that that is the position of the National Resistance Army, that is the position of the NRM, and that's the position of the Constitution of Uganda. And because of that, that's why Uganda has no refugees. Uganda of NRM has no refugees. When we came in 1986, there were 500,000 Ugandans in exile in Sudan, South Sudan, and in Congo. Uganda was number 4 in the whole world in the number of refugees. But now, there are no refugees from Uganda, except some terrorists who go voluntarily because they want they think, actually just to terrorize our neighbors, mainly Congo, the ADF, and criminals like Chiyingi in Australia. They just go because they are criminals, but not political refugees. All these troublemakers, they come here, they make trouble, they go, they come back. If we don't have a case against you, or we don't have enough evidence, we don't touch you. So that's why there are no refugees from Uganda. Instead, we have got 1.6 million refugees from other countries. Whatever man sows, that's what he reaps. By observing human rights, we have stabilized our country. We don't have refugees. So therefore, there is no need, and it's not acceptable for anybody to kutokoza. Wanyankole have got that word, kutokoza. Like I have got my coffee here. If something falls in my coffee, that is oktokora. Yatokora. My coffee has been polluted by something that should not be there. Once there's ektokozi, you can. There, I'm going to use one word to pollute and also to remove. When you remove something that has fallen in your drink, it is called oktokora. If it is a piece of grass or a leaf fallen into my coffee from up which is clean, I can kutokora and drink it. But if it is a fly, that is now no longer just a kitokozi, it is a chagaro, it is an abomination. I must pour the tea. I can't drink it. So please, do not kutokoza the NRA, the UPDF, the NRM by doing these abominable things. Do not damage our legitimacy, our history, our achievements. I would like you to show some pictures, if you have them, of some people who are kutokoza our heritage.
Kamada, aged 45 years, Kisambira Siliman, 42 years, Abdulaziz Ramadan, and Habib Ramadan Majin. The accused appeared before Chief Magistrate Douglas Nsingza Kalikona and was slapped with 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. However, due to lack of jurisdiction by this court to handle some charges against the 5 accused persons, court did not allow them to take plea. Prosecution led by Brenda Chomugisha informed the court that inquiries are still ongoing in the charges against the accused, thus requesting court for more time. The accused were represented by their lawyer Geoffrey Tuliamusima, who informed court about the torture inflicted on them, praying to court to be pleased and dismiss the charges against them, although court declined to grant all the prayers. On this, the accused were remanded to Chitalia Government Prison until 3rd August 2021, when the case will resume formation. Talking to some of the accused after court, they disclosed to us the
situation. Just bring the picture of the beatings and freeze it. The picture of the beatings, now, leave it there. You see, this prisoner was beaten. Those are beatings. Why do you beat a prisoner? Because you are too lazy to interrogate him. So that's one of Toko's. Why beat prisoners? Why? Look at this one now. Of course, these are criminals. I don't agree with the legal actors who say because he has been tortured, therefore, no. The torture was a mistake, but the mistake this fellow committed was bigger than the torture. Maybe he has killed this. I think these were arrested in Katumba's case, where they killed 2 of our children. The girl Brenda, the girl was called Brenda, and the driver. I think these are in that case. But these confused people are kutokoza. They are polluting because the police had done a wonderful job. They had used our cameras, which we put to very well get these people. Now they spoil it with this nonsense of beating. Okay, let's get another picture, another example.
We informed court about the torture inflicted on the They disclosed to us the situation citing torture that was inflicted on them during and after arrest.
Katonda asaasite ngenze nziramu buzi okuba nti nsobola okusika omukka.
Ne bantuusa gye bantuusa ne bandaga videos ze nalimu nga ntambula n'abantu abamu ne mbagamba yenze.
Prosecution alleges that on 1st June 2021, at Kisasi Central Zone in Kampala District, the five murdered Sergeant Aruna Kayondo and Brenda Nantongo.
You freeze that one, freeze that one. The one who is beating the guard. Bring it back. Bring back the one of, Look at that one now. Start from where he started chasing her. Now. Okay, thank you.
6:45 p.m. It is rush hour and sections of people from Kampala City are rushing home to beat the 7 p.m. curfew. Government issued curfew restrictions as measures to stop the spread of COVID-19.
No, that's all right.
The traffic congestion and the long queues of...
The other is enough. That's enough. So now you saw those two examples. Just totally unnecessary. Why do you beat people? Just chase them and they go. Now, because of these mistakes, which I had noticed, I issued directives to the security forces. One directive, I will put directives in a booklet, which I will make available to the public. There is this letter I wrote on the 15th of May, 2017, to the Chief of Defense Forces and the Inspector General of Police and Director General Intelligence Services. I can read it for you here. Concerning torture, this is in order to enlighten you about the use of torture on suspected criminals, okutatsya. This is what they call it in Nyankore, okutatsya, to beat in order to make somebody talk in the fight against crime. In our traditional societies, torture was commonly used, and it was not only accepted, but actually encouraged. Hence the proverbs like akabwa kaiba kaihura omugongo gwako in Runyankore, and akabwa kabi kagumya mugongo in Uganda. The dog that steals pays with its back. In both dialects, it means that a stealing dog pays with its back, i.e., by being struck with sticks and koni emigo on the back. Traditional ideas, however, had their own mistakes in many instances. That is why those ideas that are not consonant with logic should be abandoned. To take one example, In many of the African societies, marriages were arranged by parents for the young couples. The couples had no say in the matter. This was because in the no-nonsense traditional society, marriage was a strictly scientific matter designed to produce offsprings that had no emise, no hereditary defects, physiologically and behavior-wise. These would be defects like asthma, epilepsy, and behavioral weaknesses like cowardice, greed, spendthrifts, ababaji, etc. The idea of love among the intended couples never entered the equation. There was okurigira, to appreciate the beauty of, or oksima, to appreciate the qualities of somebody. This was, however, by the parents or persons deployed by them. Today, however, all enlightened people know that the traditional concerns notwithstanding, love among the couples is paramount. It is therefore clear that torture, in order to extract confessions, octatia, has three possible mistakes that may even torture, the three possible mistakes that may include torturing the wrong person, somebody who is totally innocent. This is very unfair. That's number one. Secondly, somebody may admit guilt when he's innocent in order to be spared being tortured. This would make the real criminal escape in order to commit more crimes later. You see, that beating, somebody can say, yes, please don't beat me, I admit, when in fact, he's not the one. But because of fearing beating, he just admits. So what does that mean? It means that the real criminal is not arrested. He's somewhere and he will commit more crimes because you have gone off with the wrong target. Thirdly, confessions by criminals are not necessary. These lazy security people think that the criminal must admit. No, even if he doesn't admit, but you bring the facts, the court will convict him. Even if he doesn't admit, even if he's... So it's not necessary to get admission. Even if the suspects do not admit their guilt, if the investigators do their work well, fingerprints, photographs, DNA tests, eyewitnesses, the use of other scientific methods, the use of dogs, the criminals can get convicted whether they admit or not. Therefore, the use of torture is unnecessary and wrong and must not be used again if it was being used as I see some groups claiming in the media. Of course, the criminals are the most annoying by using the cowardly but shallow methods of the borders, taking advantage of the large number of vehicles and people in order to commit crime and hide. That, however, should not make us panic and go back to the defective traditional methods of octatia. We defeated Lakwena, we defeated Coin, who was being heavily supported by external elements. We defeated the ADF that was again being heavily supported by foreigners. We defeated UP of Teso and disarmed the Karamojong cattle rustlers by removing 40,000 rifles from them. We cannot fail to cope with cowards using borders to kill people who are peacefully sitting in their cars, or are walking along the streets. With the literal adjustment, we shall avenge the death of Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga, Prosecutor Kagezi, Haji Daktur Muwaya, Sheikh Jawat Madangu, Sheikh Yusuf Sentamu, Sheikh Yunus Sentuga, Haji Mohammed Sabagara, Tito Okwale, Constable Driver Wambeo Godfrey, Corporal Erao Kenneth, number 1004 SPC Karim Tenywa, number this PC Babale Muzamiro, Award Stephen, Award Julius, SPC Isiko, Macho Stephen, Okumu Ronald, Sheikh Rashid Wafula, Major Chigundu, and AIGP Kawesi. So these are the people who had been killed by these terrorists, whom I was naming here. And indeed, we have arrested the ones who were arrested in the case of Kawesi, in the case of Katumba. Many of them were involved in the case of Kawesi and in the case of Chugunda at least. I have not checked about Kagezi and others. So therefore, what I said here has been fulfilled by patiently improving our technology, improving our methods. We have finally got these people using our brains, not using beatings. Our annoyance with these criminals should not make us opt for defective shortcuts. These are hardened criminals by default who think that by denying they can kill and escape accountability. However, we shall get them using patient methods of evidence, but not through torture, because evidence through torture is not reliable. That was the letter I wrote in 2017 and I gave copies to so many vice presidents and other people. Now, on 15th February, soon after the elections, I met commanders of the commandos of SFC about the use of force by patriotic fighters. And it reads as follows. The historic line of the NRA for NASA is that we were and still are patriotic fighters. We fight for the 4 principles of our revolution. These are patriotism, loving all Ugandans, because these Ugandans need one another for their prosperity and security. Pan-Africanism, because we realize that even Uganda, later on the individual sectarian groups, is not enough to ensure the prosperity and security of Ugandans as individuals or groups. They need East Africa. Socio-economic transformation that must involve the metamorphosis of society from the pre-capitalist, traditional, non-monetary modes of production, mainly for subsistence, mixed up sometimes with limited colonial and neo-colonial modes of non-profitable production, such as the growing of tobacco in Western Nile or cotton in other parts of the country, to commercial production in the 4 sectors using Ekibaro. The 4 sectors being commercial agriculture, industry, services, and ICT. And democracy, which means governance by the people through regular elections. Those are the 4 principles of the NRM: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. With these principles, the patriotic fighter cannot go wrong. There is no Ugandan aiming at genuine and legitimate interests of an individual or a group that will in the long run not support us. If we stick to our principles, there is nobody who will oppose us indefinitely. Because we are right. What we are saying is right. That's why you find that many people who are in the opposition, eventually they come to our side. In the short run, through lies, obscurantism, and manipulations, some groups or individuals may oppose us. As the Banyankole say, "Ekiteekateekirwe embwa kahonga omukalo." This refers to somebody who threw spitted meat omukalo at a dog. The dog, thinking that the man had thrown a stone at it, initially ran away. However, from a distance, the dog smelled the scent from the meat and realized that what it initially thought was a danger was in fact very delicious food omukalo. It came back and enjoyed the meat. The NRM, Fronasa, the NRA, the UPDF have never thrown stones to any group of Ugandans in search of legitimate interests, either in the past or the present. The only ones that faced our fire were those defending or promoting illegitimate interests. Dictators, denying the people free elections like the President NUP, which is an attempt to resurrect KY or the likes of Amin. Here I'm referring to NUP because they were using intimidation, terrorism. Feudalists and opportunists trying to divide Ugandans along tribal or religious lines or grabbing the analysis peacefully to the public. In spite of the obscurantism and subterfuge of the reactionaries, the population, on account of our patient explanations and our actual practice, in the end, comes to our side. This is what happened at the Chikunyi Conference in 1982, when the bankrupt Kaira was pushing for an army of Baganda, UFM, parallel to the army of the Banyankole NRA. The Baganda peasants rejected that bankruptcy and sided with the NRA. You have seen recently the voting behavior of West Nile, Acholi, Lango, Teso, and Kasese that had been manipulated in the past by the parasites to be hostile to the NRM on false grounds. In time, with our own right actions for the people discover that what was previously presented as a stone thrown with hostility was actually delicious meat. They abandoned the parasites and came to our side. That's how the NRM grew from a mere student group between 1965 and 1970 to the part of millions by 1994, the time of the CA, Constituent Assembly. The correct ideological and political messages accompanied by correct actions where opportunity for actions exists. That's what changed, transformed us from small to big, from weak to strong. Where it becomes unavoidable to use force again.